Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. It's Thursday, June 11th, 2020. Got a really good question in the community yesterday from a new trader, and it's an obvious one, which is what separates successful traders from somebody who's struggling and or somebody who's maybe not even struggling, but they feel like they know everything, but just can't make any money. You might, if you've been trading for a while, and especially if you're really good at reading charts, you might have reached that point where you keep asking yourself, what else do I need to learn in order to make money? And it really comes down to you probably don't need to learn anything else. You probably just need to learn how to use it. And that's the difference between somebody who's here and somebody who's here who goes to the bank every single month. Now, what I'm about to share with you, this little presentation that I have, it really comes down to two things. First, be assuming that you understand the charts. That's one thing. So you understand basic level chart reading. You understand what to look at. But let's face it, nobody opened up a trading account to be the world's best chart reader. Nobody. We opened up our trading account to become a profitable trader. So what most people don't understand, especially somebody who's a really good chart reader but can't make any money, is that it's about mindset and money management. And I'm going to show you what that means right now. And I can promise you this, when you're done watching this video, you will have, and assuming that you take the lesson and you run with it, you take the lesson and you say, yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. I can't believe I didn't see that before. You will eliminate the fear of losing money 100% on each individual trade, and you will eliminate hesitating on your entries and your exits. And there's a strong reason why, and I'm going to get into that right now. So if you find these videos helpful, all of these types of videos helpful that we put out there, I would really appreciate if you click down and subscribe to the channel. That would mean the world to me. And if you have any questions, absolutely leave that down there too. So we're going to hop right into the presentation. And this is going to be a good one. It's going to be worth all of your time. So successful money management. Now remember what we're talking about. The context of what we're about to discuss is you know everything, but you're having a problem making money. Remember those two things. That's really the big part. So successful money management comes down to knowing your probabilities inside and out. It's more than simply calculating a number to risk. So what ends up happening here is so many good traders absolutely can look at a chart and say, that's where I'm getting out, and it flips down there, it takes them out, stock does exactly what they expected. Raise your hand if that's happened to you, right? So it's not just about the risk number. It's not just about the risk point. There has to be something more to successful trading than just saying, I understand where a stop loss is. So here's the key. You must accept the fact that some trades simply have higher odds of making money. And actually, I got a really good question from somebody this morning about tape reading and whether or not it's harder to do with all the algorithms and all of the hedge funds and actually hedging going on in the market. No, it's not harder to do. It's not harder to do because tape reading means you're putting the pieces together for a great argument, and some trades simply have better odds of making money. And it's imperative that you earn money on those ideas. Here's the key. You're probably not making money because of your losses, unless you have zero discipline and you're just taking big losses, and you shouldn't be trading in the first place if you haven't passed that point. The reason you're not getting paid is you can't make the distinction between when you should size up and hold longer and earn more on your good trades than every other trade. You need to be able to say, oh my gosh, I got the best house in the neighborhood. I can't believe it. And it's on sale. That's what you need to be able to say about your best trades. And quite honestly, and again, I'm so passionate about the coaching program. If you're not in there, get in there. It costs less than one trade, honestly. These are the things that we discuss. You have to make more on your winning trades. So I'm going to flat out say it. It's your winning trades that are holding you back, not your losing trades. All right, professional traders know when the odds are in their favor and will allocate more when the odds get better. See, that the problem with retail traders, the problem with an amateur trader, the problem with somebody who's not making any money is they risk the same amount on every single position. It just can't be that way. Now, when I say the same amount, what I'm talking about is they're not making the distinction between this trade has everything. The market's doing one thing, the sector's doing something else in the stock, the market internals. All of those things are on the same page. So all of that money is pulling rope in the same, think about pulling rope and all of it's pulling it in the same direction. You have to make a decision that when the odds are stacked in your favor, you have to go get it. All right. Next, identifying these conditions in your strategy is a must goal. So here's the key. And I say this all the time. If you can't look at a chart and say nothing's going on, you don't have a strategy. So all day long, all you're looking to do is identify stocks that match your strategy. You're not looking for everything. You're looking for something. So key to trading success. So that means that if you understand what you're looking at, if the odds are not good based on your strategy, you should not risk the same amount if you should risk anything at all. Now, there are times when you would work a position where there's a bigger picture, obvious order flow going on, but the stock might be pulling back and you start to build into a position. That's a little bit different than right now it's going and it's moving in my favor. Again, different types of trades require different money management. But the number one goal after strategy and edge, right? How to assess risk in relation to the potential reward and make your trades accordingly. So it's not just the risk point. So I'm telling you, if you're watching this right now and you're struggling to make money, it's more than just how much do I risk. It's what are the odds of that stock following through in the direction I believe it can. It's not just picking a reward number out of the air and saying, yep, I'm risking $1. It's so much more than that. All right, how mindset affects money management. Professional traders don't mind losing. We don't. They understand it's a part of the process. The way I teach it in the program, which virtually eliminates all the stress of trading losses, is that it's a business expense. Same as any other business on the planet. Your trading loss is a business expense. So for you to accept this concept, you must always remember you're making one trade of many that allows your trades to play out over time. And this is where you immediately get rid of the fear of losing money on a trade-by-trade basis, because it's not about that trade or that trade or that trade. It's about flawlessly executing your idea, but the edge over time is what gives you money. So my edge is order flow, and over time I make order flow do the hard work so that my trading is relatively stress-free, but you need to know what that looks like in the first place. So the proper mindset is I want my edge, I want to trade my edge as often as possible. So that means if the very definition of edge means sample size, you need samples. You need to trade. And that means that you need to trade every single trade that matches your criteria without saying, well, maybe I'll pick that one, or maybe I'll pick that one, or maybe I'll pick that. It doesn't work that way. You have to take all of them, assuming it matches your edge. And that's you letting the edge at that point do the hard work instead of you driving yourself crazy. So your edge has a better chance of producing for you over 100 trades than it does as 10, as long as your money management and trade management is focused on probabilities and preserving capital. And that's where you get into working orders a little bit as well too. So you should never mind one losing trade, simply because if you stick to your rules, you make it back over a large sample of good trades. So what do we do next, right? That sounds like a lot of good information. What happens next? Oop, what's going on here? Hang on one second. All right, we lost. All right. So money management continued. Making money, making the right trade over time is more important than making money on each trade. I just can't stress that enough. And think about the last time you got in or out of a trade. You were obsessed with, oh my God, it's going up. Oh my God, it's going down. Oh my God, it's going up. Yeah, it's going up. Oh, it's going down. Don't do that anymore. It's just one trade, and then the next trade, and the next trade, and the next trade. All right? It's impossible to make money on every trade. And impossible is a little strong of a word there. I'm sure that there'll be option traders that say that there's historical probabilities where the trade will definitely make money. We're talking about most often. We're not talking about a black swan. And here's the thing. It's also not necessary to earn consistent money. What is important is making the right decision more often. So taking accepted losses for a few trades in a row is good trading. Now, why do I say that? If you have a strategy, you must follow it all the time. So sometimes there's going to be losing trades in the context of good trades. So there's a distinction there. There's a difference between a losing trade and a bad trade. And as long as you make good trades, that's what you need to do all the time. So holding losing trades, cutting profits short, and not trading bigger when the odds in your favor are the primary obstacles holding you back from getting paid month after month after month after month. I'm telling you, if you understand basic chart reading, together our goal is to learn tape reading and then ultimately to act like a trader every day, which is somebody who does all these things without even thinking. So to conquer them, it all boils down to believing in probabilities, which again means you need an edge. So my edge is order flow. I believe in it because it works. I've been using it for 20 years. Students in the program understand now that it works. Once it clicks like that, and all of a sudden you see the market completely different. All right, so the obstacles, the biggest obstacle for unprofitable traders is placing too much emphasis on trade by trade by trade. I want to get past this because there's a point that I want to finish up the video with. Most traders do this for two reasons. You need money immediately, so you have that countdown clock in your head going, I need money, I need to get paid, I'm giving myself 3 months to be profitable, which makes it very hard to not focus on every single trade needing to make money. Number two is you have a gigantic ego and you expect to always be right. You read it on page 35 of the book and now it's supposed to make money because that guy found the one bull flag that worked. That's not real trading. Real trading is you should never be trading to be right. You should be trading to trade flawlessly. Big difference between the two. Good traders manage risk trade by trade, but set up each trade based on probabilities of profit. So hopefully I'm driving that point home now, right? So how believe in probabilities makes you better. Number one, start with the context of a large sample of high probability trades that were well managed. That's how you get long-term success. Remember, my edge is order flow. I make order flow do the hard work. I believe order flow will help me. Order flow plus tape reading helps me make trades that will have a high probability of moving in my direction. So I believe that to my core, number one, because I see it on the charts. Number two, it's actually paying me. Large sample, this removes the pressure of each trade. This is a really important one. You should not be thinking that trade made money, that trade lost money, that's important over time. It's not important from a trade by trade. And so here's what I mean by that. I'll put on a trade, manage it, get out. Put on a trade, manage it, get out. Put on a trade, manage it, get out. And that's it. I'm not like super hyper focused on that made money, that lost money. That over time I care about that over the week, over the day, over the week, over the month, but not trade by trade. Think about what I'm saying here right now. The very definition of trading and the idea that you can make money successfully trading means you have an edge. An edge does not mean one trade. It means all of them combined. All right. All right. High probability trades, you believe your edge works more often than not, and you only take those trades, which, by the way, that bullet point there, that little blue box, that's the reason so many smart traders, hardworking traders don't get paid, is because they take trades that they just came up with out of nowhere. Oh my gosh, I saw it on StockTwits. Oh my gosh, a stock hit a new 5-minute high. I need to buy it. That's not, real traders don't do that. Real traders do homework and they sit back and they're like, I'm only going to trade my ideas. You would not believe how many people come into the community and they're like, I don't understand. Why don't you have an alert? Why don't you have the, because I'm only looking for, I just did 14 hours worth of research from yesterday to today's open and whatever amount of hours that is. I'm coming into the day saying, those are the stocks I want to buy. Those are the stocks I want to sell. And the week. And that's it. That's it. All right. And last but not least, manage well. Proper risk and leveraged manage well based on proper probability. So again, you could have all of the tools, like I started at the beginning of this video, you could have all of the tools, but if you don't use them, it's not the same. The analogy that I use is you went to the store, you bought everything, and then you left it there. Don't do that. You have the tools, use them. So when you believe in your edge over time and your ability to trade only those ideas and manage risk, profitable trading is a matter of sample size and not individual trades. This means you will realize to make more, you need to trade your edge as often as possible to allow the probabilities to do their work. So now here's the point that I want to get across. And maybe you've seen the famous video that I've done called 10 Perfect Trades, and it really comes down to this. It's our job to first understand how to read charts. That's the very beginning of us deciding that we want to go into the markets and try and make some money. But that's only baby step. Anybody can learn how to read a chart in 5 minutes. Reading a chart leads to tape reading. Tape reading means that you're building an argument for probabilities. You're developing your strategy. Once you have your strategy, now the market opens and you say, okay, out of everything that's in my plan that has an edge, that gives me my edge, that's my A-plus trade, how many of those things are happening right now? When I'm about to buy or sell that stock, how many of those things are happening right now? That's what tape reading is. You're putting in the market, you're putting in the sector, you're putting in the market internals, you're putting in how far has the stock moved the last 7 days, how far has the stock moved in the last 2 hours. All of those are going into reading the tape. And the next part is what we just discussed, which is the mindset of a trader. And hopefully I'm teaching you there's a difference between chart reading and tape reading and trading. The final step is to become a trader where you have this mindset that you've developed an edge. The edge works because you've proven it with real money, even 100 shares, that matters. Then you start to trade, and you 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 manage leverage, you manage risk, you manage leverage, you manage risk, all in the context of you have an edge that plays out over time. And then no longer will you be afraid of one losing trade because you have the discipline to get out, and you also have the mindset to know that one losing trade is nothing more than one in the next 10 perfect trades that you're going to make. If you do what you're supposed to do over those 10 perfect trades, that's where trading becomes a lot less stressful. You don't hesitate anymore. And you're basically just sitting back saying, I know what stocks I'm looking at today, and that's all that matters because my edge is there in those stocks. So we hit you with a lot of stuff today, but this is a really important video because I want you to really think, I understand how to read charts, but why am I not making money? And it comes down to these last steps. And then if you really want to take it to the next level, what we discuss all day, every day in the real-time room is now you got to determine what do you do between entry and exit. So if you do all of that work where you have the chart reading that leads to tape reading leads to being a trader, and now you understand all this stuff, now you actually have to learn how to make money because you stack the odds in your favor. But now you must make what you're supposed to on those good trades. And that's really what real-time coaching is about. That's what it really means to be in the room together during the day and during the week. You actually have 24/7 access to post questions. So hit you with a lot of stuff today, but it really was designed to make you think. If you're struggling, you have to ask yourself why. And my guess, if you're a hard worker and you already know a lot about charts, it's you're not using it properly. And that's kind of what we do together. So hope this helped. Have a great day. Absolutely subscribe if you found this helpful, and definitely leave a comment if you have some feedback or questions about what we just discovered. Have a great day.